Hello and welcome to yet another episode of Let's Talk Tobago. I'm Davia Chambers. Today we're coming to you from the Roxborough Administrative Complex right here in the fast developing, vibrant eastern village of Roxborough. Of course, we've had quite an eventful week. So over the next half hour, we'll be sharing with you all the major details of what's been happening in Tobago. Stay with us for all the details, starting with this week's headlines. It's time to meet the Tobago Carnival Committee and hear about its plans for the festival in 2022. Students at Speyside High School get a gift of love to support their cultural development. We have the highlights as the island celebrates Indian Arrival Day at the Scarborough Esplanade, and later we dive into the I Am Able, Just Differently series once more, this time to meet Genesis Okubosa. All these stories and more are up next when Let's Talk Tobago returns. Stay with us. Roxborough Administrative Complex is a two-story reinforced concrete building constructed by Towers Consortium Consultancy Limited. The complex houses critical state and utility services. Among them are the Business Development Unit of the Tobago House of Assembly, Inland Revenue, T&Tech, TT Post, the Registrar General's Office, and the Elections and Boundaries Commission. This ensures that the eastern communities have handy access to these services. Tobago breaks from tradition this year with Carnival in October. To execute the vision for the event, the Division of Tourism, Culture, Antiquities and Transportation installed a committee to plan and execute the festivities. We have the highlights from the committee's first press conference in this story. Tobago's Carnival will stand on its own this year. It's been moved from its original slot alongside Trinidad celebrations in February or March to October. To this end, the Tobago Carnival Committee was recently installed by the Division of Tourism, Culture, Antiquities and Transportation. It's headed by Misha Trim. The three-day festival will run from October 28th to 30th. Ms. Trim says it will have elements of contemporary and traditional mass, soca, calypso and steel pan. Alongside fetting with add-ons and features encompassing the island's rich culture, heritage and history, as we intentionally build out your calendar of events leading up to and of course including the culmination of the weekend festivities. The committee's terms of reference include driving major economic activity through the creative, cultural and tourism industries. Highlighting and celebrating Tobago's unique heritage, culture and ways of expression, fostering collaboration and innovation among creatives and practitioners, building and strengthening capacity in the carnival and entertainment and festivals industry, and to showcase Destination Tobago as a viable option to travelers for future getaways and vacations. The committee will work alongside the Tobago Festivals Commission, the Tobago Performing Arts Company or TPAC, and the Tobago Tourism Agency Limited, with the Tobago Festivals Commission or TFCL responsible for the event's execution and the Tobago Tourism Agency Limited or TTAL handling the marketing and promotions aspect. Its newest company, the Tobago Performing Arts Company or TPAC, will be co-opted for add-ons mentioned previously that has to mainly do with the presentations of our intrinsic traditions. The Tobago Carnival Committee will focus on education and researching Carnival and other key areas. Also serving on the Tobago Carnival Committee are Deputy Chairman Kevon McKenna, members Christoph Roberts, Antonia Thomas, Pearl Duke Orr, Seiko Allen, David Mirage, T.L. Thorne, Kerry Walcott, Anya Elias, Patrick Clark, Ainsley King, Kyle George, and ex-officio members Alicia Edwards and Dr. Charleston Thomas. The committee is calling on Tobagonians to encourage family and friends across the diaspora to experience Carnival on the greatest little island on the planet from October 28th to 30th. It's the rainy season, which means greater potential for flooding, natural disasters and other emergencies. It's why the Division of Infrastructure, Quarries and Urban Development has ramped up its drainage and river works with the goal of mitigating flooding and possible erosion. Ryan McCool explains in this report.
The Division of Infrastructure, Quarries and Urban Development has begun its annual desilting works. It's cleaning watercourses within communities from the month of June through to August.
The desilting program falls under a greater called the stormwater management plan. And that's how we handle surface runoff from rainfalls. Now, one of the aims or targets of the stormwater management is flood mitigation.
According to DIQUD's specialist civil engineer, Kevin Trustrell, flooding occurs where unwanted water flows and accumulates in a normally dry area. In Trinidad and Tobago, there are 4 types of floods. Urban flooding occurs in developed urban areas where hard surfaces such as concrete and roads impede natural drainage. Coastal flooding, caused by storm surges coupled with rising tides directing water back into land. Riverine flooding, where riverbanks overflow causing floodwaters. And then there are the infamous flash floods.
This occurs unexpectedly. Once you have rainfall, you get a flash flooding in several areas.
The Infrastructure Division has already determined a number of contributing factors that lead to floods. Intense rainfall over a short period of time, prolonged rainfall over an average 3-day period, and the human factor.
We have unplanned development, and this captures a lot of people constructing homes on riverbanks, by the seaside. We have deforestation. Persons in the habit of trying to carry out slash and burn agriculture. And once you clear the land from all vegetation, the water runs off at a lot faster rate. And this will lead to flooding as well.
The division's desilting program aims to remedy these occurrences.
What the program entails, we go through with machinery in watercourses. We target the watercourses that are close to villages, in villages, and watercourses that cross our main roads. And what we do is try to take out any debris that we see. We try to shape over the watercourse, and we generally try to increase the capacity.
Mr. Trustrell maintains that despite preparations, once in every 20 to 50 years, severe floods can occur. But he says the division stands ready to intervene.
In that case, we lean more towards our response to these things in terms of TEMA and the other agencies, fire service, even the IQUD itself. We respond with our equipment and assistance to persons.
The Infrastructure Division's desilting program will be visible in Mason Hall, Scarborough, Canaan Bonaccord, Charlottesville, and Speyside. I'm Ryan McCool for Let's Talk.
It is a major boost for the Speyside High School Steel Orchestra, which won the Tobago House of Assembly's Panorama School Competition from 2010 to 2015, as well as the Windward Junior Extravaganza Pan Competition from 2010 to 2016, and the Speyside Steel Sensations Band. They got a sizable donation of steel pans recently. Our cameras were there for the handing over ceremony, so we could bring you this story. Have a look.
The Speyside High School Steel Orchestra and Speyside Steel Sensations recently got a well-timed boost, a gift of $130,000 worth of steel pans. The pans will help the members continue to make their mark on the national music scene. It's in line with the school's mission to facilitate the holistic development of its students.
And in order for that to happen, we have to have resources and we have to have opportunities. Right? Now, today we are going to be blessed with a very expensive gift. Students, very expensive gift. And the best way that we could show appreciation for that is the care.
Because of our legacy, and as the Chief Sec indicated, in homage to Mr. Titus, we believe that it's our duty to carry on the legacy of the band. We have a rich legacy, having won various competitions and a lot of talent, and it's just to preserve that and pass it on to upcoming students.
The donation was made by pan maker, tuner, and the manager of NGC Steel Explosion, Aaron Anthony.
Today, I felt real proud because, you know, this thing never happened before. When you ask for a donation, the captain of the band will give you an old pan or an old guitar pan or old bass. Yeah? I work on these pans for about 5-6 months. We need a chrome factory in Tobago so we could export pans. And we need a national band of 35 players, divided boys and girls, so they could be employed at $4,000 when the month come, and they could play, and the money they made could go into an assembly fund. So you're not doing nothing for them; they're helping themselves.
Chief Secretary Honorable Farley Augustine was once the band's manager. Here's his take on the donation.
I am happy and I'm grateful that I could be here in another role. Had I not have the role of Chief Secretary, I most likely would have been in the role of teacher. I might have been hosting this function, but I'm happy I could be in another role as Chief Secretary to stand here with our resident pan tuner, Mr. Deuce, who has given to us quite a noteworthy gift. I mean, it was said before, the value of the gift, $130,000. $130,000 is difficult to come by. It's not an easy amount of money. And this is a labor of love.
Honorable Augustine has this challenge for all members.
Mr. Titus must go down in history as the person who helped to push our pan side to where it is now. And I'm charging those who are still here and responsible, Ms. Griffith and others, that we have to get the pan side back up and running in time for competitions for February next year.
For Let's Talk Tobago, I'm Reina Elaine.
We have to take a break, but do not go anywhere. Let's Talk Tobago. We'll be right back. Stay with us. Welcome back to Let's Talk Tobago. Indian Arrival Day is celebrated on May 30th. Of course, it commemorates the arrival of the first group of indentured laborers from India to Trinidad in May 1845. This year's celebration was held at the Scarborough Esplanade, and the East Indian community got a special thank you for its contributions to national society. Here's more in this story.
Trinidad and Tobago had another reason to celebrate its colorful history recently, Indian Arrival Day. It's celebrated on May 30th to commemorate the arrival of the first group of indentured laborers from India to Trinidad in May 1845. Chief Secretary Honorable Farley Augustine joined the East Indian community during Tobago celebrations. He says he's proud of how much East Indian descendants achieved over the years.
For us in Tobago, we wish to celebrate with the East Indian community not just your arrival to this country, but as Dr. Boris said, your presence in this country. Your presence in this country has led to leadership across the country, to many luminaries across the country, to captains of industries across the country, to significant scientific gains within the country, to academic achievements within the country. And so you must be proud of what your community has been able to achieve, and proud of what your community has been able to contribute to the landscape that is Trinidad and Tobago.
Trinidad and Tobago is noted within the Caribbean region for its ethnic, religious, and cultural diversity. The country encourages respect of persons regardless of sex, race, ethnicity, religion, or disability. This emphasis comes, in part, due to the various cultural influences that have helped to shape our islands.
Days like today must remind us of the need to work together as Caribbean peoples in ensuring that we improve our economic fortunes. For every new generation that comes, they must experience something greater than we had. We can indeed work together to build out a country that is a lot more resilient and a lot stronger.
The ceremony was held at the Scarborough Esplanade. I'm Kian Walker Hazel for Let's Talk Tobago.
Disaster preparedness is no laughing matter. It requires all of us to be vigilant and prepared to act in the face of an emergency. It's why the Tobago Emergency Management Agency, or TEMA, joined forces on a public education caravan on safety, part of this year's National Disaster Prevention and Preparedness Month. Here's more.
We're here at the Portmore Lower Scarborough, where the final disaster caravan is being held in commemoration of National Prevention and Preparedness Month for the month of May.
This is a very good initiative that has been put on by the National Disaster Preparedness Month Committee. It's a collaborative effort across Trinidad and Tobago, so we're collaborating with the ODPM and their stakeholders, with Tobago, with our stakeholders, to make sure that we are passing on as much information as we could to the public to ensure that they are ready for this upcoming hurricane season.
The NDPPM initiative is now in its third year. ODPM CEO, retired Major General Rodney Smart, is elated over the impact of the caravan.
We have done both in-person lectures, we've done webinars, and we've done activities including the evacuation of schools. We've also done for the fisher folk. We've put on a seminar, and boy, they enjoyed it. So it has been growing, it's becoming better, and every year we hope to continue to make sure that we pass on this knowledge and we get the people of Trinidad and Tobago more prepared for not just the hurricane season, but for any disaster.
The Trinidad and Tobago Fire Service, the TT-Met Service, the National Commission for Self-Help Limited, and the Division of Health, Wellness and Social Protection were also on site to bring crucial information to the public.
Over to the side, we essentially have the grab and go bag. It is, as it says, it's a grab and go. So ideally you will have your change of clothes for a 3-day period as well. Your personal care items, you try to have a first aid kit on hand. Note that you also want to have sanitizing items as well. We are still in the COVID period. So this is what we are trying to promote at this time.
Over the fire service booth were demonstrations of very cool search and rescue equipment, such as infrared goggles and this device used to locate victims in difficult spaces.
Right, what we have here is called a search camera. Right? Use this for rescue in collapsed structures, confined spaces, and you could also use it in water as well.
To catch highlights or information from the National Disaster Prevention and Preparedness Month, visit the ODPM or TIMA on Facebook. I'm Ryan McCool for Let's Talk Tobago.
Karen Forbes, captain of the Trinidad and Tobago women's football team, is always proud to be on the football field doing what she loves. But this time, she's not in the center of the action. She recently hosted the Kick It with Karen football tournament, which attracted football enthusiasts from across Tobago as well as the Sister Isle. You'll find out more in this story. Listen up.
Karen Forbes is Tobago born, a Plymouth native and captain of the Trinidad and Tobago women's senior football team. She's also playing her part in the development of the sport. Karen recently hosted Kick It with Karen, a 2-day football tournament in her hometown. The event is aimed at showcasing the island's football talent and also to show the positive side of the seaside village.
Coming out of the village of Plymouth, Plymouth have a stigma of, always this ghetto thing and those kind of things. And I think it's a great thing to show that, good things could come out of Plymouth.
The tournament previously began as a 1-day affair, but over the years, it's attracted more football enthusiasts. So naturally, it has expanded. And from the look of things, the sport is definitely growing on the island.
What we did, we would have started, the first year we started this competition, it was a 1-day competition. But because of the magnitude of the competition, we decided that we're going to do it 2 days and see how it goes. So this is the second year that we kept it for 2 days. And so far, it has been drawing like massive crowds. So later on in the evening, you see more people start to show up at the event.
And this year, it seems to be like better than ever. Seems to be better than ever. I hope everybody come out and let us enjoy ourselves. It's a beautiful, beautiful day.
This year is my first year in this event, and this is one of the best things I've seen in Tobago for a long time. This is a great initiative because when we are talking about community building, this is one of the things that actually will build community. I'm hoping that Tobagonians support this event much more because this is a seed that has been planted and we need to water that seed that it can grow.
In the end, winning the top prize in the female category was Unknown, a mix of ex-nationals and current players. The Frontline Empire team from Trinidad won the men's category. I'm Megan Wallace for Let's Talk Tobago.
In our final story, we'll shed some light on cerebral palsy in the series I Am Able, Just Differently. It's up next right after this break when Let's Talk Tobago returns. Stay with us. In this episode of I Am Able Just Differently, we shine a light on cerebral palsy. Now, this condition affects movement, muscle tone, and posture. In this story, we meet Genesis Okubosa, who has been navigating life with cerebral palsy with the support of her mother, Liesel. Omadara Mills shares their experiences in this story. Have a look.
Not because she's differently able, that means I have to hide her away. When you say special, a lot of people don't understand what that special means. See the child and not the chair. See the child. I realized that she couldn't hold herself up. Whatever you put her on the chair as a toddler, you would have to put cushions to support her. You would always have to tilt the head. You would always put in cushions to completely surround her to support her. And I knew that something was wrong because I've been with children for all of my life. So I knew that something was off with her development. Because with cerebral palsy is a group of disorders that affects a person's the way how they move, their ability to move, their posture and their balance. The emotions were so high. I was totally broken because I said to myself, I remember one of the things I used to always ask God, why? God, why? I mean, I've been taking care of so many children for so many years and now I have my child. My one child, you just give me a special child. God, what really going on? And as a parent of special needs, that's the first stage you have to go through. When you go through that stage and you go through the other stage, which is acceptance. So in that stage, you would have many nights crying. You're blaming yourself for every little thing. You just feel like if you're going all crazy because you just can't understand why you. But you know what? Why you? Why me? Why not me? Why not me? God chose one of his best because he know I can handle it. Because he know he will be there to back me up to deal with it. Every day is a bright moment with a child so beautiful as Genesis. Every day is a bright moment. Everybody can tell you that. Her teachers, her principals, the past principal, even the one now, even the bus drivers of her school that she attends, the gardeners, everybody, the cleaners, everybody can tell you she's such a joyful person. When you say special, a lot of people don't understand what that special means. Special, you have to take more time with that child to do everything. So it's not, come here, sit down here, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. No, you have to take time with the child. Adrenaline rush comes more when I see how far she has reached, how much she has progressed, because this is a child that couldn't hold herself up. Now if you tell her, Genesis, lap your legs, she's going to lap her legs like the perfect queen, you know. You know, you tell her, Genesis, write your name. She couldn't write before. She would write her name. Genesis, read this book for me. She can read it because she's on social media by herself. Evidently, she has to do a lot of reading in order to navigate. So all those are really bright moments for me because I see how far she has come in her life. Not because she's differently able, that means I have to hide her away. How could I do such a thing? God was the one that blessed me with this child, you know. God was the one that blessed me with this child, and I have to accept. I've already accepted her, and I love her beyond words can ever even surface. But she needs to enjoy her life. And if I am her mother and I'm not taking her places, then how will she know outside? See the child and not the chair. See the child. See her for who she is. Embrace the person. Forget the chair. Embrace the person. For other children with different disabilities, accept them. Show them love. Be kind to them. Respect them. Support them. Be there for them. Encourage them. However way you can motivate them, inspire them. Be a good memory in that child's life. Be a good person in that child's life.
So we've come to the end of yet another edition of Let's Talk Tobago, and as always, we thank you for watching. Please email us with your comments or queries about the program, and be sure to visit our website, like our Office of the Chief Secretary Facebook page, follow us on Instagram and Twitter, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. From our house to yours, I'm Avia Chambers, along with the Department of Information, Office of the Chief Secretary, Tobago House of Assembly, wishing you a safe and fantastic week. We leave you with a montage of the Division of Settlements, Public Utilities and Rural Development's internal small goal competition. Do enjoy.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning. Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning. Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Good morning, viewers. It's Thursday, the 9th of June 2022. It's 7 a.m. and this is the Tobago Updates morning show coming to you here live from the Port Mall in Scarborough. As we continue to give God thanks for life, I am Julian Skeet.
And I am Maria Richardson George, and this is the day that the Lord has made, and we will rejoice and be glad in it. Good morning to Tobago. Good morning, Trinidad. Those of you in the Caribbean and those of you viewing us on the live. Good morning, morning. Hey, how you doing today, Julian? It is Thursday.
Yes, Thursday, the 9th of June, and you know, we continue to give God thanks. Beautiful day indeed. Not too rainy, I should say.
Just cool.
In between, just right.
Just
right,
cool.
Just
yeah.
right.
Slightly overcast, but cool.
I know, and sometimes the energy is so high in studio, it feels like the cameras are moving up and down. Viewers, good morning to each and every one of you connecting out there with us. Those of you viewing us via TV, I know you might be sipping on that tea very quickly before you head on out for the office. Those joining us via radio, we want to welcome all our listeners connecting with us out there, Smash Radio and Street 91.9 FM. Those of you joining us online, TobagoUpdates.com, YouTube, and also those of you connecting with us via Facebook on social media. Ria, what's been happening? We're hearing of some news, a bit uncomfortable. kinds of situations, and you're wondering like, oh my God, what's happening in Trinidad and Tobago? What's happening in Tobago?
That's right. What's
happening
in Tobago? And it's unfortunate because Tobago would have recorded its 4th murder for the year, and that would have been Cabrera is the surname, and this was unfortunate. This is all yesterday morning, and I was pretty taken aback to hear, you know, that it was happening in the Mongrace area. Mongrace is on, for those of you not in Tobago or not familiar with Tobago, it's just on the outskirts of Scarborough, and it's one of those quieter villages, but seems to be taking a little bit of spotlight, you know, ever so often. But from what I understand about this young man is that he was very quiet, very progressive, productive. So this is unfortunate, and we know we don't know the circumstances surrounding the shooting. However, it is unfortunate. I understand he's a husband and father, very young man, and this is unfortunate. So we extend condolences to the family at this time. Really unfortunate.
And I know we also have one of our very own, you know, in terms of here within the Tobago space, Jason Arthur.
Yeah.
You know, and we want to express also our condolences to Jason and by extension the entire family. And the funeral arrangements, is it today, Ria?
Well, it's happening in Trinidad over the next couple of days, but very early next week they would be bringing the body to Tobago, and things would kick off with a she would be buried here in Tobago, in Delaford, the Anglican Church in Delaford, and there would be a repast. So there would be a wake happening in Trinidad, and I'm trying to get information even as we speak. Yeah, there would be a wake happening in Trinidad. The viewing of the body would have taken place on Tuesday between 3 and 5, and that would have been at Belrose Funeral Home. And then 6 p.m. on Wednesday, which was yesterday, the wake would have been held for the funeral service to take place today, 2 p.m. And all of this is at Belrose Funeral Home in Tacarigua, Trinidad. And then coming to Tobago, the funeral service that would be on Saturday, 2 p.m. at the Delaford Anglican Church. A repast will be held thereafter, which is a stone's throw away from the church. So once you get there, you're within the environment for everything happening. All right. So again, we take the opportunity this morning to extend condolences to Kenneth, and according to him, let me put the names in order for you, Ria. It's Kenneth, Jason, and Kevin Arthur. So we extend condolences and God's peace. You know what was interesting about this, Julian, is that just 2 weeks ago, Jason called me to extend condolences. He said, Ria, I decided to wait until things settled for you a little bit to just reach out to you and just, give my love and support. And then 1 week later, I'm seeing all of this on social media. So when I saw it, I called Jason. I said, what is going on? What is happening? So, Jason, God's peace. You never know it until you go through it. So God's peace to you and your family.
Yes, most definitely. And I'm certain for those who would have been following the happenings out there, we would have seen what was quite looking on in Trinidad over the last day or so. Large numbers being gathered for applications in terms of jobs and employment, via the cruise ship here in terms of offering. I think it is about 2,000 opportunities that they have identified and seeking to persons coming here from within Trinidad and Tobago. And today, we have a similar lineup. It's my understanding taking place right here down at the Shore Park area, where they're also accepting applications. So at this point, we attempt to connect and to head on in with Candice Jackson.
All right, good morning, Julian, and thank you. And here is your news in 90 seconds. Approvals were granted for URP workers' salaries to increase. Assistant Secretary in the Division of Infrastructure, Quarries and Urban Renewal, Joel Sampson, announced this at yesterday's post-executive media briefing. Effective July 14th, the increases range from 50 to 90% in all categories of workers. Changes were also made to the classifications of workers. Additionally, URP workers will now experience benefits such as 14 days sick leave, 2 weeks paid vacation, 3 days of bereavement leave for close relatives, 4 days paternity leave, and 14 weeks maternity leave. These changes were made to streamline operations and improve morale in the workforce. Also receiving salary increases from the THA were CPEP workers. The unemployment relief program is still undergoing restructuring, but one of the changes so far is to a salary increase for workers. This increase will see the wage bill doubled, moving from $765,000 to $1.6 million. The wage increase will be effective on July 4th. A draft document will be formulated by the program coordinator and her team to treat with benefits to the CPEP workers on the lower level of the organizational structure. And now on to some news from Trinidad. A female student was expelled from the Williamville Secondary School for stabbing her 15-year-old schoolmate. The incident took place just outside the school compound on Monday. A video circulating on social media shows a female student getting beat up by other students while one girl armed with a knife slashed her face and stabbed the victim in her chest. According to the Ministry of Education, the girl guilty of the stabbing incident was already receiving support from the student support services at the school. The Ministry of Education referred the family to the Ministry of Social Development and Family Services for intervention. And that was in news in 90 seconds. But we're not done here, because I am here at the Shore Park Multicultural Complex, where behind me there is a long line of persons waiting to apply for jobs on the cruise ship, you know, with Royal Caribbean Cruise Lines. And we know, I mean, in Trinidad, we saw over the last couple of days we had in Napa, there were applications in Napa and in Sapa, and there were hundreds and hundreds of people that were gathered here, and it seems that this is building up to be the same thing. And then just to talk to me a little bit about this morning, we have Mr. Mead. Good morning to you, Mr. Mead.
Morning, Tobago.
All right, so tell me a little bit about you being here, why you chose to come here to apply for these cruise ship jobs.
Well, the amount of people that it had in Trinidad, you know, it was different. So I decided to come to Tobago because not everybody could get through in Trinidad. So we use it as an opportunity to come to Tobago to register as well. And as of from 7 p.m. last night, there was people here.
Wow.
8 o'clock. And we really keep our numbering system as to where that as you come, you sign the book, so nobody will get in front of anybody. And we reach 108 right now. So it's 108 people behind us. And we just keep that system so everybody will get a fair chance to register.
Now, how do you feel about the process? Because I know there's been complaints in Napa and in Sapa about it. How do you feel? Like, should it have been done better?
Well, I believe that they could have taken different measures to put things in place, as well as they could have go into alphabetical order, something they could have done to make things better instead of this pile up.
All right, and then how many people from Trinidad came up last night to wait here this morning?
Approximately 12 to 13 people.
Wow. So there you have it, folks. Just a little bit of a snapshot of what's been going on at the Multicultural Complex. People are coming in steady streams here, so it's going to be an interesting day. And good luck to those persons that are here to apply. But that's it from me at the Shore Park Multicultural Complex. And it's back to you in studio, Julia and Ria.
When you're moving from place to place, good morning, good morning, morning. This world is getting so cold. I want to keep running like
Alright, so it would appear that Candace is happening.
Candace, are you hearing us?
Yes, I'm hearing you guys.
Okay, yeah, Julian was asking the question.
Just giving us a sense, Candace, what are the numbers like now? I know you indicated 108, but that's in terms of the current standing, or do we have a situation of spaces being held? It didn't appear to be 108 when I passed by.
Oh, it's been growing, and like you said, as I've been here for the last few minutes, people are continuing to come. So, and the line is extending all the way around the tennis courts right now.
Wow, and that is interesting to see. Now, he did indicate that there were about 12 persons or so who came from Trinidad. Are you seeing any other familiar faces from Tobago? Can you recognize any Tobago faces in the lineup of the 108, the approximate 108?
I've not seen anybody yet that I can recognize on Tobago, but I haven't been able to see everybody. But then again, people are continually coming. So
okay.
I guess we could see later on in the day.
All right, thank you.
And I think this connects,
thank you, Candace.
It's very interesting in terms of the timing, and it speaks to, I don't know, it's really, I suppose it should not be that surprising for any or for many, given the circumstances that has happened within Trinidad and Tobago. And let's not forget, a number of persons would have lost their jobs and lost employment during the course of the pandemic. Some who may have enjoyed, comfortable enough jobs also had to face the circumstances of reduced income and so on.
Definitely.
So it's not unusual that in these circumstances, if a new opportunity presents itself, that persons would attempt to venture in that direction to seek employment or even to seek out what exactly the opportunity is at this point, looking for better in some way, form or fashion.
Yes, it's a good opportunity, especially if you're not hitched and you are unattached. And I said not hitched and pretty much unattached. Julian, you do not qualify.
But suppose you have to make a kind of responsible family decision.
I know.
You have to say, well, here's what for the next few months or for that period. We're going out there. I'm going out there to get this done, and I'm gonna be back. It's sometimes it's that kind of decision that's required.
You still don't qualify. You still don't qualify. We are seeking the interest of all. Lover, we got your back, girl. All right.
All right. So as we even talk about employment opportunities through the cruise ship, we would have also seen coming out of the Executive Council yesterday a number of announcements in terms of increases for URP and the CPEP. And that in fact takes us into our very first guest this morning. On our rundown, we'll be starting the conversation with Assemblyman Terence Bain, Secretary with responsibility for the Division of Community Development, Youth Development and Sport. And we're talking more money for CPEP and the URP. Going to the root of things, and it's not just the traditional those on the top that benefit, but really giving a sense. So we look forward to getting a summary of those details that would have been presented yesterday in terms of the opportunities for CPEP and URP workers. What else do we have on the lineup this morning, Rhea?
Well, Candace is going to be chatting with Sean Roberts, who is the Managing Director. Managing Director, yes. Something seems to be missing on my rundown. Go ahead.
All right, so Sean Roberts, Managing Director of the Recycling Waste and Logistics Limited. And this morning we wrap the conversation with Shirley Cook and Yvonne Dallas. And Shirley Cook is the President of Bella Forma Women's League, and Yvonne Dallas, Captain of Bella Forma Women's League. All right, at this point, viewers, we head on into our birthday lineup this morning.
That's right.
All right, who do we have on the rundown for our birthdays? Hey, we start this morning with Keyshawn Robley. Wishing you a happy birthday, Keyshawn. Trust that you have an enjoyable one. Well, we're in the Gemini season, so we know how to have a good time. So that's Keyshawn Robley out there. Wishing Keyshawn a happy birthday. Sending out birthday greetings at this point to Sparkle Innis. Birthday shout out to Sparkle Innis. Wishing you a happy birthday. Coming from the Tobago Updates family. And we're staying up in the East area, Stevie Jack, all right, from the Pembroke area, wishing you a happy birthday and God's continued blessings to each and every one of you, coming from the Tobago Updates family. In our lineup here, we have on screen
Joel Kwashi. You cannot forget him. Joel, happy birthday going out to you. Love to you from the Tobago Updates family. My very good friend here, Todd Dinu. Never a dull moment with Todd Dinu.
My very good friend, and as he says, it's Todd MJ Dinu.
Listen, I can't keep up with him. I can't keep up with him.
Wishing him a happy birthday.
Right. Lots of love. My schoolmate and very good friend here, Bridget Romeo, celebrating her birthday out there in the U.S. Happy birthday, Bridget. Love going out to you. And Stephanie James, right here, a daughter of the soil, celebrating her birthday today. Happy birthday going out to you, my dear, and we trust that you enjoy. Love from the Tobago Updates family.
It's Gemini season, folks. Let's make the best of it. All right, viewers. So at this point, we thank each and every one of you joining us via TV, radio, and those of you joining us online. And remember, this is your opportunity to share the live, share the live, share the live.
Opulence Promotion takes you to a musical paradise with Utopia. On Sunday, June 19th, the Buku Historical Park would come alive from 2 to 10 p.m. as TNT's most versatile jazz, reggae, soca, and Afrobeat artists grace the stage. Indulge in Tobago's rich cuisine and be captivated by pieces from Tobago's creative artisans at Utopia, the hybrid jazz experience, a fusion of music, food, and art. Tickets available online at islandetickets.com, in stores at Penny Saver Supermarket Canaan, Guy's AutoZone, Pure Vanity Lowlands. Call 716-6797 for more information.
Happy Father's Day. Looking for that gift Dad would really love? Well, this one's for you. Craftsman's Corner is having a massive tool sale and expo Friday 10th and Saturday 11th June. Discounts, giveaways, tool demos, and lots more. Just build Craftsman's Corner. Happy Father's Day. Upgrade Dad's tool shed with our wide selection of hand and power tools. Visit Craftsman's Corner, 24 Sincere Street, Canaan. Just build it.
MI4 Security Services Company is the most advanced security service in Tobago. Ask about our cash and transit service. It's safe, risk-free, reliable, and timely. We provide safe banking delivery for all business types and sizes with highly trained staff, 24/7 monitoring, coordinated emergency response, and a well-maintained fleet of armored vehicles. Contact us at 660-7723 or visit our website at www.mi4securitytt.com to sign up today.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning. Good morning,
viewers, and welcome back. It's 7:17 a.m. and this is the Tobago Updates morning show coming to you here live from the Port Mall in Scarborough. And this before we head on into this segment. Yes, this morning, and we got taken up and focused into the the lines and the lineups that's taking place. But I also want to recognize our sponsor this morning again, Checkpoint. For those of you, you're seeing that mix and that blend. We're in the graduation season, yes, but just a gentle reminder, Checkpoint also has those blends. If you prefer to be we want to be good looking and so on and impressive, but you don't necessarily want to walk in that room and everybody want to talk to you at the same time. So there's a blend. There's the more natural colors that is easy for you, and then you'd get a sense in terms of my next guest, very much into his appearance and the styles and so on as well. But this morning, shirts, and I know you might be missing all the intricate details, but shirt in terms of the blue-gray combination, the brown floral kind of touch on it. Folks, Checkpoint caters from boys to men. You can get the options that you are looking for. It's 639-5148, and they're located at Upper Main Street in Scarborough. So remember to check Checkpoint, even in this graduation season, for the very outstanding or simply that look good, step in and fit into the mix. All right, thank you very much there again to our sponsor Checkpoint. At this point, viewers, we head on into our discussions this morning with Assemblyman Terence Baines. And Terence Baines is the Secretary with responsibility for the Division of Community Development, Youth Development and Sport. And he continues to be one of those secretaries in focus. And today we're chatting about some major announcements made yesterday, and I'm certain the numbers that have been immediately impacted and are looking forward to these increases. Morning to you, Secretary.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, sir. And of course, good morning to all our viewers and listeners of Tobago Updates. And I am very honored to have the opportunity to sit here with your good self
So we would have had about a few weeks ago, or I should say a few months, we had a situation of CPEP shooting into the spotlight.
Indeed.
Given, in terms of looking at the overall structure and operations, and more recently, some determinations being made in terms of restructuring. And some say the restructuring only happening because they want to bring in their own to benefit in a particular kind of way. However, we saw major announcements being made yesterday regarding a number of increases to what would be deemed in terms of entry level and those large numbers that really help to drive operations within both the URP and the CPEP program. Just give us a quick summary in terms of some of those increases that are due to take effect and when they will be effective.
Right. Well, of course, when I got here and looking at the program, obviously are concerned about the workforce, some 548 daily paid workers. And at the lowest end, you had workers working for $99.19. And I was comparing that with the average laborer, let's say in the works department. I was working for like about 200 plus, I was told. So our intention was to try and close that gap somehow, incrementally and so on. And we sat down with the numbers and with the team and so on and made a proposal to the Executive Council if we were to give a $25 increase to each of these workers in the different categories. We have 4 categories, or a $50 increase and so on, and the executive team agreed on the $50 increase. So the unskilled worker who is at the bottom would have been working for $99.19 per day, and his daily wage will now move to $149.19. The semi-skilled worker would have been making $145.48. He or she will now move to $195.48. The checker would have been making $155.39. Will move now to $205.39. The foreman would have been making $165.31. He or she now moves to $215.31. So currently, the fortnightly wage bill would have been like $765,499.70 with the increase. And this includes both the wage and the NIS as well is inclusive in this. And I just wanted to correct what I said yesterday. I said 1.6, but it is actually $1,060,715.30. So we look, it's an increase, and this is fortnightly. Right? I want to make that clear. So generally, at the end of each year, it will cost us an additional $7-point-something million to do this work. But we felt, normally when there's a restructure, it is always about trying to save money. But we felt that we had a moral responsibility to try and address this problem because of the present climate in which we live, cost of living. COVID has not assisted in any way. In fact, it has exacerbated the problem that we have, and that may even contribute to what we're seeing even with the application for cruise ship jobs and those kinds of things and so on. So we are trying our best to create the best kind of working environment for these workers to whom the program was designed to benefit. And of course, we have a restructuring that is taking place simultaneously at the top, because we felt that the top management positions it was top heavy, it was overpopulated. I mean, it is never a popular thing when you have to talk about, streamlining and that kind of stuff. But there are some things that you must do in order to realize the objective that you're trying to get. And so that is what we're doing at this point.
Give us, for those who may be out there saying that already a number of increases have occurred, and therefore it attracts persons even more to these programs in terms of CPEP and URP.
Yes.
And persons may be saying, but these programs were intended to be short-term in nature,
Indeed,
not necessarily long-term.
Indeed.
How do you treat with that in terms of ensuring that persons do not see it as a long-term plan for a number of years, but rather see it as a stepping stone in terms of opportunities for growth and development?
Yes. The Achilles heel in this thing is that, as I shared with the public perhaps close to a month ago, is that there is no written policy, no written approved policy in the operations of CPEP, and that is that's the undertaking that is ongoing at this point. So the next time, as I said yesterday, I come to the media space, we will be talking about an approved policy that will cover all these issues, because it is a fact the program was not designed for you to be there forever and ever. Amen. The program was designed as a transitional program and so on. But of course, the actual programming had to facilitate the transition and so on. So all of that is on the cards, and we are working expeditiously to try and regularize these things. But we felt it was incumbent on us to at least treat with the present wages and so on, and we deal with the other things incrementally as we go along. So that I have already received a draft of that will cover a comprehensive draft, as a matter of fact, that will kind of give the program new life, a new face. We have a different branding that we want to do. We really want to give the program some more dignity. You understand? We really want to treat the workers as human beings. That is my concern, and I am committed to that. And I will do everything in my power to get this thing done.
Would you say, and we have to touch on what is the national scale somewhat, what are the numbers that are being impacted and benefiting from these sweeping changes in terms of increases approximately between CPEP as well as the URP program?
Well, I can't speak definitively of the numbers in the URP program, as you can appreciate, right? And I think Secretary Sampson did an exceptional job yesterday as well. In fact, Secretary Sampson and his team are ahead of us in terms of what they have already brought as it relates to the benefits and so on, like the maternity leaves and those things. Those things are part of the draft that I received, which we will now take to the Executive Council, that we can interrogate and see if we can get consensus on that. And but I know, because the URP worker was even making less at the lowest ebb than the CPEP worker. The URP worker was working, the man at the lowest part was making $79. You understand? And you hear these kind of numbers, and you almost ask yourself, if we in some other galaxy or something in 2022, and when you hear people call and some of the social challenges that some of the persons who a program like this was designed to assist. And so we have some gaps, and we will have to fix it, because I am also of the view that there are some people that are in the program that may not necessarily need to be in the program. So what that does, you kind of clog up the program, and the people that really need to come into the program can't get an opportunity. So we have to look at all these things, but I guess incrementally we deal with one thing at a time. At this point, we're dealing with the increase, we're dealing with the restructuring at the top and so on, and we're going to continue to move and try and optimize this program, that it serves the purpose for which it was created.
So from your end, in terms of CPEP, how many stand to benefit?
Yeah, 548 workers.
So in terms of over 500 workers stand to benefit, and you have to ask the real question. I have had some colleagues in the medical field, nursing, reach out to me within the last few weeks, given what have been some of the benefits now being enjoyed by nurses here in the Tobago space, and saying to me, oh my God, we need Dr. Faith to come across here. Now you have a scenario of CPEP and URP enjoying increases in Tobago. Is this strategically designed to put pressure on the national circumstance to respond, where people begin to believe quite naturally now, like it's better to be at this and it's better to be in CPEP and URP in Tobago?
Well, I mean, we see people in CPEP in Trinidad saying best they come to Tobago and work in CPEP, and people quarreling about, you know, how come that not happening in CPEP in Trinidad, and they are not able to make the distinction that CPEP in Tobago is managed by the THA and in Trinidad is managed by Central. It's a CPEP company. But no, I in fact I was not even sensitive to those issues. I came in, saw the situation, and it is amazing, you know, and it is because of that issue that you spoke about earlier back there in January with CPEP workers not getting paid on time, and as I went in to try and figure out what was responsible for that, then I started to discover some of the things. I mean, some of the discoveries compel me to initiate an audit into the complete financial operations of CPEP, and I got the audit report yesterday. There is nothing good about it, you understand, but of course that's not for public consumption yet, you understand. We're working on business, and I believe that we're going to get to where we're going to get to. It will take work, but we will get to where we were trying to get to.
So some would say quite naturally they want to make sure that this is the first year of this administration, and some of the improvements or the changes that we're seeing is what usually mirrors an election year. Can this be sustained, Secretary?
Well, I mean, I will have to be Jehovah to speak into the future, you understand? But we certainly, I mean, we've been telling the population that we want to fix things. And that, I don't think that means that we think that everything is evil and everything is broken, so we just come to just fix the place as if we have superior knowledge about everything. But rather, there were some systems and some issues that needed attention and so on, and we don't know the reason why, whether it's lack of political will or whatever. But we are here at this particular time in this dispensation. We are led by a revolutionary leader or leaders and so on, and we're trying to do the best that we can, taking it one step at a time, day by day, and God will help us as we do it, you understand? And so that to me is what drives me. I don't know that, and one must not be presumptuous and so on about the future. We do everything that we can do today. We do that to the best of our ability. We trust God for tomorrow. When we encounter tomorrow's stuff, we deal with that as we go along.
All right. What would be your words of encouragement, particularly in terms of guiding? Because at this level, it is no secret in terms of persons, in terms of entry-level employment, a number of expenses and commitments, and sometimes it's a challenge even managing those resources.
Yes.
So even with an increase, the need for that kind of additional support, do you see this being able to go some steps further, even in terms of working along, whether it be through your division, other divisions, or financial institutions, providing the kind of financial support and guidance in terms of managing resources to be able to derive greater benefit, so that we assist a wider cross-section of the society?
Yes. And the work cannot be a work in silos. It can't. I mean, and it's important that we're having this conversation, because interconnectivity is important for us to get to where we're trying to go. We'll have to do some modifications of some of the plans and that some of the disciplines now in the CPEP program. There are some great things happening, and we need some enhancements and so on, and it will include some of the things that we're talking about, because ultimately we are trying to build people, you understand what I'm saying? We are trying to build people. We are trying to give people options. We are trying to bring back as well the hunt of the Tobagonian. I don't know if you realize it, but Tobagonians have lost that drive, that innovation, that innovative approach, and the pride of the Tobagonian and that kind of thing, whether that is by the culture that prevailed in the past, and COVID has not assisted that in any way. But I think that we have to say, because Tobagonians have excelled in every discipline you could think about. You will find a Tobagonian that has done well. And so that is emblematic of our people. And I think part of this work is not just to bring people in a place of comfort, but really to motivate them and so on. And I said yesterday, to whom much is given, much is required, because there are delinquencies as well in the workforce. You understand? And we need to treat with that. People have to understand that while we are doing this work here, that you have a responsibility to go to the government work and do the work that you're supposed to do and so on. So there you have an honest day's work for honest day's pay. We have to also instill that in our people, and we have to keep that as a part of the conversation front and center.
Excellent. Thank you very much there. Assemblyman Terence Bain, Secretary with responsibility for the Division of Community Development, Youth Development and Sport, speaking to us on the recent announcement yesterday in relation to increases for CPEP and URP workers, and speaking about that greater responsibility beyond just the increase, supporting and moving forward. So we look forward to that continued growth and development, and thank you very much, Secretary, for joining us here on set at the Tobago Updates morning show. Viewers, at this point we head on into the good stuff this morning, the good stuff segment. And yes, we are connecting with one of our media colleagues here in the Tobago space. And coming from the Tobago Updates family, we say congratulations to Radio Tambourine, celebrating their 24th anniversary yesterday. So congratulations go out to Mr. George Leacock and the entire Tambourine family, 92.7 FM, on celebrating 24 years in the industry here within the Tobago space. Viewers, we want to thank each and every one of you that continue to connect with us. Those of you connecting with us via Gael, M&E TV, those connecting with us via Smash Radio, Street 91.9 FM, those via YouTube, TobagoUpdates.com, and those of you on social media on Facebook with us, we want to thank you so much for your continued love and support for the Tobago Updates morning show. And at this point, this is your opportunity to share the live, share the live, share the live.
Pre-qualification notice deadline 30th June 2022. The Tobago Regional Health Authority TRHA is updating its current list of pre-qualified contractors, suppliers, consultancy firms and sole traders to ensure compliance with the mandate of the procurement regulations of Trinidad and Tobago. All interested contractors and suppliers desirous of entering into business arrangements with the TRHA are invited to engage in the pre-qualification of suppliers registration process. For more information, visit the following link: trha.page.link/tenders.
Happy Father's Day. Looking for that gift Dad would really love? Well, this one's for you. Craftsman's Corner is having a massive tool sale and expo Friday 10th and Saturday 11th June. Discounts, giveaways, tool demos, and lots more. Just build Craftsman's Corner. Happy Father's Day. Upgrade Dad's tool shed with our wide selection of hand and power tools. Visit Craftsman's Corner, 24 Sincere Street, Canaan. Just build it.
Tobago Glass Supplies has been a leading name for over 37 years in the glass and aluminum market in Tobago. We provide an extensive range of high-quality, innovative aluminum and glass products for commercial and residential use. Competitive prices with superior and professional services by committed employees who are guided by rigid quality standards. Tobago Glass Supplies specializes in the manufacture and installation of glass and aluminum products that are essential to today's homeowners and the business environment. We are engaged in marketing, sales, and installation of a variety of products. These ranges from windows and doors to necessities such as mirrors for homes and vehicles, designed and manufactured in-house or imported.
Today we are saying welcome to Stumpy's Emporium, where we have such a large variety of items. I'm here today to let you guys know some of the things that we are doing for our wonderful fathers, right? We have slippers of varying sizes. I'm always talking about, we have this for the very, very large feet. So this here is a size 13 and we even have up to a size 15. Dad always love a nice cup of chocolate tea. So a teacup, you could never go wrong with a teacup, something as small as a teacup. Now we also have the bachelor dad, and then we have the dad who loves to be in the kitchen. So we also have like electric kettles, We also have juicers. We also have everybody's thing bread maker. Everybody getting into this whole wheat bread and stuff. We have bread makers. And we also have vegetable steamers and everybody into this air fryer. So we have some really nice electrical items for that. We even have shavers.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning.
Welcome back to the Tobago Updates Morning Show. I am Candice Jackson and I am here at the Tobago Recycling and Resources Initiative facility down here in at the NITCO complex. Now, good morning, especially good morning to the director, Mr. Sean Roberts.
Coordinator.
The coordinator, sorry. Well, he's the man behind everything. And of course, we're going to be talking a little bit about recycling today. Why? Because we just celebrated World Environment Day on Sunday. And a major part of taking care of our environment is reducing that the trash, the single-use plastics, the plastic bottles, reducing that in our environment. So as we're going to be going through the facility where the recycling happens. Now, Mr. Roberts, I just wanted you to just give us an idea of what's been happening since the last 2 years of this facility being in operation.
Well, since launch in November 2020, we've been busy since, and we started off last year, January, February, with 6 bins. Now we have 19 bins.
And these
deployed.
are public bins deployed all over Tobago.
All over Tobago, yes. And by Friday, there will be 21 bins. So after that will be 19 bins and counting. So, I mean, the litter eradication program from the Division of Health, they actually who clear the roadsides as well, they separate the recyclables, and they also bring it right here. So it's minimal waste going to the Eastern Park landfill, and as you see the bin outside there, that will have about about 400 bags of mixed recyclables come every month. So some of the bins around have been performing, and we're moving around different places to deploy more bins. We even tested curbside collection as well in Charlottesville, Speyside, Roxborough, Delaford, and then we are going to add about 2 or 3 more communities with curbside collection. So very soon you will hear announcements of when is your recycling day. You put out your recyclables, and a TRI contractor will be collecting it, and it will be coming right here in Shore Park.
And this is like, a first world country, because when you go to certain countries, this is what happens. We separate our recyclables. So we're moving there one step at a time, especially where the environment is concerned. Now, if I look around here as the camera is panning around, you're seeing tons and tons of bags of sorted bottles and other materials for recycling. Now, I mean, when we first started, there weren't that many bags in here, and it's increasing. And Mr. Roberts was telling me just before we got started how many times that they have to go through a day. And I just wanted to tell the viewers how many times to go through a day to clear all of this that we see here.
I mean, first when we started, the pile was almost high as where you see the lights. But when we adopted the URP as trainees to be production workers, where they learn about the different types of recyclables to sort and actually process. So what happens is that they got the hang of it so much that sometimes on a busy day they could still clear up about 2 to 3 bales for the morning. For the afternoon, that is where is around the same thing. So the objective is to be able to, because we want to reduce 50% of Tobago's waste by 2025 and to become zero waste by 2030. We believe that is possible. But as you look around,
and that's of course in line with the UN Sustainable Goals.
That's right. And you see what happens too. I mean, some people say that the version of recycling that taking place in Tobago is just compressing bottle and ship out. But if you look across there, you will see the wide range of material where we have all the different types of plastic bottles. You will see the aluminum cans, the steel cans, the Tetra Pak, and even the glass bottles. The only material that is recycled here in Trinidad and Tobago is the glass bottles, but all the other types of recyclables are the ones they are shipped out. So what you see here, they're processing cardboard.
Yes, I would just like to get the viewers to get an idea of the busyness that's happening here.
Yep. So you see usually that machine produces average of half a ton to 1 ton. That could happen in a matter of 2 hours. You're talking about where you see a high pile goes on to a small block, and those are containerized and shipped out to different parts of South America, Central America, Asia, and even the European continent. So what you see happening here is where all the cardboard is processed. That makes new cardboard. Even some cases they make tissue paper and different types. So I mean, the first step of recycling is actually what you see here is the recovery process. The next step is to process it further, like what happens overseas, and that is what we want to do right here in Tobago. So if I take you around to where the end products happen, so that way you will be able to have an idea as to have an appreciation as to what goes on here. Even the film plastics too. This here makes new plastic. Even the one here make COVID masks. The mask are disposable masks that you're wearing. That produces COVID masks. We shipped out a container load of that, about almost 20 tons of that.
And you're basically, when you say you're shipping it out, you're selling it to these recycling places?
Yes, for further processing.
So then there is some revenue coming in from recovering these recyclables.
And one of the things that we all have to understand, that recycling is first and foremost a business activity, because the business activity is what keeps what you see here, the waste, out of the landfill. So that is why it's important where as you collect it, you have to process it, and even it becomes a commodity where it's a raw material that becomes a product for recycling.
And of course, right behind me, we see just a bunch of products, and they're sorted.
As we call
bottles, bales of recyclables to go out. And how often do you send these out?
Well, I mean, we sent a container last year, November. And what happened, we've been focusing on more placing bins in communities. So if you don't have a bin in your community, feel free to contact us, reach out to your assemblyman and let them know that you need a bin for the community. If you want, you can go to TRI Recycling Center on our Facebook, or even Recycling Waste Logistics on our Facebook, and you can be able to send you could send a request for a bin. We'll do a site visit and assess to make sure that it service the people of Tobago. Yep.
Okay, so I want you to tell me, has there been any progress in us being able to recycle any bit of that material right here in Tobago? Has there been any progress to that? Because I know that is one of your missions eventually.
Well, no, we actually doing upcycling in Tobago here, right? So we take the wooden pallets and we make upcycle bins, recycle bins. So if you go to one point, you'll see the nice pallet bin, and you will be able to have a. So we are Recycling Waste and Logistics. It's all about creating other business activities from recycling, because and another full recycling that takes place in Tobago is the food, organics and biomass, because composting is recycling. That happens at Roxborough, the URP farm in Roxborough, where the commercial compost facility is up there. So what happens is that is the actual full recycling that happens in Tobago. We are doing some research and development with plastics as well for infrastructure related work, and also we're using sargassum as well to see how it works in tandem with plastics as well. So I mean the sky is the limit for that, and we just have to focus on recovering as much of the material as possible, so that at least we can be able to do a lot more research and development. So at least we know the volume and scale that is here and that is available in the Tobago space, so that at least we can be able to do the same thing that out there is doing, we do it right here in Tobago. And there's more employment that is going to happen. Yeah?
All right, so and as you go through and you know, you're doing each phase of your research, don't forget to update Tobago through Tobago updates.
No problem.
Right? Because I mean, this is important. I mean, we need to protect our environment. It is good for just our health, for tourism, for the economy, for everything. We need to get those plastic bottles off the street. So please stop throwing them out of your vehicles. Find these recyclable bins, you know, pull them together at homes, put them in your own bags, and then bring them here to Shore Park. And you know, let's see how we can make Tobago a better space. All right, so Mr. Roberts, I just want to thank you so much for being with us on Tobago Updates, and to continue being with us because...
And just to let you guys know that the Tobago Recycling Resource Initiative is a public-private partnership initiative by the Environmental Management Authority, the Green Fund, us at Recycling Waste and Logistics, and the Tobago House of Assembly. So it's a collaborative stuff. In order for us to get to our sustainable development goals, it's a collaborative effort. And the public, people of Tobago, visitors, group up and come in, recycling made simple.
And everybody benefits in the long run. So that's it from me, Candice Jackson at the Shore Park Recycling Depot. And it is back to you in studio.
Security Services Company is the most advanced security service in Tobago. Ask about our cash and transit service. It's safe, risk-free, reliable, and timely. We provide safe banking delivery for all business types and sizes with highly trained staff, 24/7 monitoring, coordinated emergency response, and a well-maintained fleet of armored vehicles. Contact us at 660-7723 or visit our website at www.mi4securitytt.com to sign up today.
Hi, good day. We are saying welcome to Stumpy's Emporium, where we have such a large variety of items. I'm here today to let you guys know some of the things that we are doing for our wonderful fathers, right? We have slippers of varying sizes. I'm always talking about we have it for the very, very large feet. So this here is a size 13, and we even have up to a size 15. Dad always love a nice cup of chocolate tea. So a teacup, you could never go wrong with a teacup, something as small as a teacup. Now we also have the bachelor dad, and then we have the dad who loves to be in the kitchen. So we also have like electric kettles. We also have juicers. We also have everybody's singing bread maker. Everybody getting into this whole wheat bread and stuff. We have bread makers. And we also have vegetable steamers and everybody into this air fryer. So we have some really nice electrical items for that. We even have shavers.
There's a taste in the air everywhere. Feel the vibe cause it's something to share. Smooth, rich and creamy, you'll find it right here. Makes you smile, relax a while, it's fun and good cheer. Ooh, enjoy every scoop. Ooh, every taste will get you hooked. We have flavors that you love, a combination special. Come along, enjoy our treats. This is Uncle Pete's.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Viewers, welcome back. It is the Tobago Updates morning show, and this morning we are talking about golf, but the Bellaforma Women's League Golf Tournament. Yes, maybe there's hope for me yet. Chatting with us today, we've got Shirley Cook, who is the president of the Bellaforma Women's League. Along with her this morning, the captain, who is Yvonne Dallas. Ladies, good morning and welcome to you.
Good morning, Ria. Good morning.
It's really good to have you on the program. You know, just recently I was chatting with Brendan Gray, who was on our program, and I mentioned, you know, maybe I should take up golf. You don't hear about a lot of women involved in golf. And then these lovely ladies show up here this morning looking all ladylike. I'm wondering here, I mean, there's hope for me yet, right? Ladies, let's talk a little. We're talking about golf at this time. Now, what got you started? Before we get into the Bellaforma Women's League, what got you ladies involved, you know, started in golf? I mean, you look so feminine, so ladylike. You don't think that golf is you don't think of golf as a woman's sport.
Golf is a woman's sport. It's hitting a ball. Yeah, if a man can hit a ball, a woman can hit a ball.
I'm not sure how to take that, but okay.
It's about hitting a ball in a hole. All right. Now, us ladies at Bellaforma, we formed because there was nothing in Tobago really for women that want to play golf.
Right. True.
So we formed Bellaforma Women's League. And we started we made history by going to Trinidad for the first time to play golf in a competition. There was 4 ladies, myself, Donna, Marcia, and Lois. We decided, right, we're going to go and make history. We did that. We went and played at Pointe-a-Pierre. That was our first game. Our second game was Britching Castle. But every time we went out, everybody celebrated, embraced us, welcomed us, and wanted to come to Tobago. So we decided it was short notice. We're going to organize something in Tobago. And here we are.
This is interesting. Yeah, yes, Shirley, I want to hear from you as well.
Well, good morning again. The Tobago Women's League, Golf Women's League, was conceptualized in around 2017. And then we formalized ourselves around 2018. The idea was that, like the captain says, Yvonne, that basically we needed the women. There were interests in playing golf in Tobago among women, but there was no structure or organization that they could, you know, attach themselves to. And at the time, I was a member of the Bellaforma Golf Club. Now, the Bellaforma Women's Group is under the umbrella of the Bellaforma Golf Club. And so we decided to really organize ourselves. We have an executive, we have a structure, and we do training. The captain here organized trainings on a Wednesday that for any persons interested in doing golf. And so we decided to really get ourselves out there and create the kind of interest which there is serious interest out there for playing golf. And therefore here we are, we doing a tournament, an upcoming tournament that the captain has organized, and we're really happy about it. And she will tell you more because she is, as the captain, is the forerunner, the person who really organized this tournament.
Okay, now before we come back to Yvonne, Shirley, you didn't tell us what got you started in golf.
I needed, now golf is an avenue for exercise, relieving stress. It's a game of strategy. And, you know, as a business person, you have to help develop your some kind of strategic skills. So it's not just hitting a ball. It's having to do with strategy and developing techniques that would apply in your business world and even in your life. So that's what got me involved in golf, and I'm glad I did.
All right, now we're going to take a little break here before we come back to Yvonne to hear more about this tournament. But viewers, at this time we go over to Tobago Notes.
We're here at the Portmore Lower Scarborough, where the final disaster caravan is being held in commemoration of National Prevention and Preparedness Month for the month of May.
this is a very good initiative that has been put on by the National Disaster Preparedness Month Committee. It's a collaborative effort across Trinidad and Tobago, so we're collaborating with the ODPM and their stakeholders, with Tobago, with our stakeholders, to make sure that we are passing on as much information as we could to the public to ensure that they are ready for this upcoming hurricane season.
The NDPPM initiative is now in its third year. ODPM CEO, retired Major General Rodney Smart, is elated over the impact of the caravan.
We have done both in-person lectures, we've done webinars, and we've done activities including the evacuation of schools. We've also done for the fisher folk. We've put on a seminar, and boy, they enjoyed it. So it has been growing, it's becoming better, and every year we hope to continue to make sure that we pass on this knowledge and we get the people of Trinidad and Tobago more prepared for not just the hurricane season, but for any disaster.
The Trinidad and Tobago Fire Service, the TT-Met Service, the National Commission for Self-Help Limited, and the Division of Health, Wellness and Social Protection were also on site to bring crucial information to the public.
Over to the side, we essentially have the grab and go bag. It is as it says, it's a grab and go. So ideally you will have your change of clothes for a 3-day period as well. Your personal care items, you try to have a first aid kit on hand. Note that you also want to have sanitizing items as well. We are still in the COVID period. So this is what we are trying to promote at this time.
Over the fire service booth were demonstrations of very cool search and rescue equipment, such as infrared goggles and this device used to locate victims in difficult spaces.
Right, what we have here is called a search camera. Right? We use this for rescue in collapsed structures, confined spaces, and you could also use it in water as well.
To catch highlights or information from the National Disaster Prevention and Preparedness Month, visit the ODPM or TIMA on Facebook.
That was a production of the Department of Information, Office of the Chief Secretary, Tobago House of Assembly.
Shirley Cook and Yvonne Dallas, and it's all about the Bellaforma Women's League and their tournament that's coming up. Now, Yvonne, I am particularly interested in this tournament. Like I said, maybe there's hope for me yet with regards golf. So maybe you and Shirley are going to see me on the course one day. Now, let's talk a little bit here about the tournament that's coming up and the involvement of Tobago's women in this tournament. How many women are we talking about with regards, you know, in terms of forming this league, the Tobago League? How many women are actually involved?
Well, there's roughly 16 women in the Tobago's Women League.
Now, are we talking 16 local women or 16 women from outside of Tobago / Trinidad and Tobago living in Tobago?
Local women.
Okay.
16 local women that's involved in Bellaforma.
And you say it with such pride.
Absolutely,
Yes.
absolutely. Because this competition has brought out other local women, women that belong to Ricky Campbell's Academy. All of them have decided they're going to enter. We've had to cap our competition at 40 members.
Wow.
Yeah, we've had to cap it. And out of that 40, 15 of those are Tobagonians, Tobagonian women. 10 of those are Tobagonian women that have never entered a competition before. So we have a newbies category, especially for them.
But they've played golf.
They play golf, but they've never entered a competition. So they're a bit green when it comes to competitions.
Right.
But they're looking forward to it. They're so excited. The talk on the chat, everybody's, you know, what are we going to wear? How are we going to play? You know, what do we need? So, yeah, they're really excited. They want to come and play. So we're looking forward, after this one, to have another competition, specifically for women in Tobago.
So now that you're wetting their taste buds, you're going to keep it rolling thereafter.
Absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely.
And this is really our first women's competition locally. And the interest that was generated from Trinidad shows the potential for having women golf tournaments in Tobago. And we had a women golf tournament, an international women golf tournament in the past, but we haven't had like a local organized one between Trinidad and Tobago. But there is need for more of that, because you build the capacity and you encourage women to get involved in the game of golf. Because it's not only for just us in a way, but we can work with, let's say the cruise ship comes in and there are persons on the cruise ship that need to play golf. You know, they could team up with us and we go out and give them that experience on Tobago's golf course. So the Tobago Women's League is looking beyond just playing golf. It's a holistic approach to golf and Destination Tobago.
Well, this is very interesting. Ladies, give us an idea of when all of this is happening.
Sunday the 12th of June. Yes. Sunday the 12th of June from 9:30. Tee-off is at 9:30. Straight through until about 3 o'clock.
So that's this Sunday coming?
This Sunday, the 12th of June, at Magdalena Grand Beach Resort, Beach Resort Plantations.
Yes. All right.
We'll be there. Come along and have a look.
Is there an opportunity for women to run a practice maybe before the tournament begins? Because for those, some of them may be viewing and saying, this is a good weekend to spend in Tobago. Maybe I should come across, but maybe I need to get a little practice shot in before the tournament.
Well, some of our ladies that are coming over from Trinidad are here already.
They're excited.
They're here already, absolutely. We've organised practice sessions for Friday and Saturday for them. So they'll come, they'll do their practice sessions and then play the game.
But is there also an opportunity, Shirley, I'm coming to you now, is there also an opportunity for the public to come and view? Can we come sit in, see what's happening and,
Yes, look, this is a plug for all of Tobago, especially the women, to come out on Sunday and watch a game of golf and see if you would be interested in it, because it's a great opportunity to de-stress, to see what golf is like. So we're encouraging all of Tobago, not only the ladies, but all the men, whoever, bring out your family. Maybe the kids might see a need to get involved in golf. We have to build Tobago, and this is our little niche in which we're trying to build and to make this island the greatest little island on the planet.
That's right.
But can I also say that we have quite a few 14, 15-year-old ladies that have been playing golf, that enjoy golf, that are actually in the competition.
There's hope for me yet.
So it doesn't matter. Age is irrelevant. No matter how young or how old you are, you're never too old to start and you're never too young to start. We must come and take up golf.
Yeah, you wanted to thank?
Yes, I just want to thank our sponsors who have come on board so far. I can't remember everyone because people are still coming in. But I want to thank Singh's Hardware, Tatil, Bago's Beach Bar.
We've got to put in Bago's Beach Bar. We cannot forget Bago's Beach Bar.
All part of it. And we have some individual sponsors. Some of them do not want to be named. But we have a host of people coming on board to sponsor this tournament. We're in the process of discussing with the Division of Sports to give us some type of support. And as the captain said, it was short notice, but we're still working with them to see what support we can get. But in things like this, we as a group have reached out to several persons and not only the THA, because no longer should we just depend on the THA, but we're asking for their presence and their support as we have done in the past.
Okay, and I understand that Tobago Updates is also one of your sponsors and will be bringing coverage to the people, in fact to all of viewers, on that day.
Yes, and we thank Tobago Updates, amazing company that is growing, and we thank you for partnering with us, the Tobago Bellaforma Women's League, to conduct this tournament. We're really thankful.
You're quite welcome. Give us a contact number for the Bellaforma Women's League for those women out there who are saying, you know what? I think this is my time. I need to do something. I want to get involved. How can they contact you?
They can call 793-9901 and we'll direct them accordingly. If they want to start taking practice and getting trained and all that stuff, we have all that lined up for them. And the captain is brilliant, Yvonne. She's brilliant in getting the women together and getting them out. I don't go out as I'm supposed to because she's on my case all the time because I'm very busy. But at any rate, please call that number and get involved in Golf in Tobago. It's an avenue for women camaraderie to de-stress and to get out there and get some fresh air and exercise.
All right. Well, thank you so much, ladies. Thank you so much for that. So there's hope for us yet, us, the women here at Tobago Updates. Cassie, Candace. All right, we're going to leave Julian and the other Anton Parks. We're going to leave them in the background just for a little while, but the women are going to, Denise here, we're going to get involved in golf, okay? So thank you so much, ladies. Well, viewers, as we shift gears, we are going over to Tobago back in the day. And for those of you on the live, you've got to tell us, where is this? This is an old picture of Tobago, a location in Tobago back in the day. And I understand that this photo was taken back in 1988, thereabout. So can you, and if I'm not mistaken, am I seeing part of a ship, part of a boat in the background to the right? And is anybody seeing that? Is it just me?
That's
You're seeing?
Control tower.
That's opposite where Scotiabank used to be.
Yeah, you say, somebody saying, yeah, Yvonne is saying where?
It looks like it's an airport.
She said it looks like the airport control tower near an airport. Shirley Cook, let me hear you.
It looks like the corner of Milford, I think, opposite where Scotiabank used to be.
Okay, interesting. We want to hear from those on the live. Where are you saying that this is? Somebody says, think it's the port. Okay, Keith Pollard said, think it's the port. Bino Lester says, taxi stand.
Still not there.
Okay, Director. Mr. Director says we're going to answer it in the last segment. I'm going to leave it there. So we've got this day in Tobago history coming up, and then we're going to wrap up with Julian. Julian's going to be back on set with us. So over to this day in Tobago history.
Have you heard about the first time that Tobago's very first black representative on the Legislative Council stood up for himself and for Tobagonians? I mean, the man wasn't even in office yet, but he was showing that he had the chops, eh? James Alpheus Alexander Bigart was a Tobagonian man who lived from 1878 to 1932. If you're talking about people who updated the fight for Tobago autonomy, bringing it into modern times, and in essence showing that the fight could be won by different means, it definitely starts with Bigart. And he will invigorate Archdeacon Davies for make secondary education available to not just boys, as they were doing in Trinidad, but boys and girls in Tobago. And that is how we get Bishop's High School, Tobago. So there we talk about the time when Bigart first tell the authorities in charge of British rule Trinidad and Tobago what was in the best interest for Tobago and Tobagonians. This monocled chap is Joseph Chamberlain, and on June 9, 1903, a letter was sent to him from Tobago regarding a demand made by one James Bigart. You see, he was the Secretary of State for the colonies and therefore had the power to grant Bigart's request. Bigart, who was 25 at the time of the letter, was Tobago's very first black pharmacist. He began doing that in 1892 when he was just 14 years old. And what we was doing at 14, definitely not being nobody assistant pharmacist, and we certainly were not working with some of not only Tobago but Trinidad and Tobago's leading doctors and medical officers. I could tell you that. Now let's get back to Bigart's request. Now, according to Larry Luke's Identity and Secession in the Caribbean, Bigart owned Tobago's only pharmacy several years before Tobago and Trinidad even became a thing, and certainly before Tobago's wardship to the colony of Trinidad and Tobago. In fact, Bigart was the only dispenser in Tobago who had completed a course of practical and theoretical chemistry at the government laboratory in Trinidad under the acting government analyst and a professor of chemistry, Professor Walter Ince. And Ince was the only person who could certify that Bigart did indeed pass his exam. And he said exactly that in the letter to Chamberlain. In 1903, when his letter was sent, this man, Sir Herbert Jerningham, was the first governor of the colony of Trinidad and Tobago. Because remember, Union did not take effect, and he was the one who suggested making Tobago a ward of Trinidad and Tobago, which started since January 1st, 1899. And according to Bigart, in a petition, Herbert Jerningham, will say, and this is a quote from Bigart petition, pause to read. So what are the considerations? You see, wardship brought a lot of undue hardship to Tobagonians specifically. As Bigart would detail in his petition, the extension of Trinidad laws to Tobago as a result of wardship obligated him, a medical professional, to travel quite to Trinidad via steamship service that was as reliable as a chocolate watch in noonday sun. To do our exam, for get license to practice at Tobago. When you are done practice at Tobago, donkey years now.
Yes, viewers, welcome back. And you know, we went straight on from, going back in the day with that photo, and I'm here, and you saw my facial expression coming back because I'm confused. I don't even know where in Tobago that is. And heading on in straight in to get a sense of our history, giving us a gentle reminder, so critical and so important. This is the Tobago Updates morning show, and we're in the final segment here this morning.
We are indeed. So we've got some quick information for viewers out there. So Father's Day is coming up, as we know, and it should be next weekend. Yeah, next weekend, the third Sunday in June, which is next weekend.
Which I know Ria is certain about.
Definitely, you're not going to forget that. It is next weekend. So, worried about what to give your dad for Father's Day? Well, just exhale with Exhale Spa by Haley, located in Cuckoo Avenue. Yes, that's Cuckoo Avenue, Susulands. They're offering a special retreat for dads, which includes a pedicure, back massage, beer, for you beer drinking dads, Big Daddy chocolate bar, and non-alcoholic wine. All for the low price of $600. Check out their other specials too on packages when you call them at 730-0149 to book your dad a spa day to exhale. Now, if you know anything about Haley, she's very professional, always delivers on what she promises. So give her a call, 730-0149.
All right, and we're also chatting this morning about it's a marriage symposium at the Scarborough New Testament Church of God Family Life Month 2022, building wholesome families for a stable and secure future. You're welcome to our marriage symposium, and that's Pastor Karen Alexis and Pastor Douglas Gibson. And should I jump ship? Saturday, the 18th of June 2022, 6 p.m. at the Scarborough New Testament Church of God. So check them out. You're welcome to their marriage symposium.
As well, the Scarborough New Testament Church of God, and this is all in collaboration with their Family Life Month 2022. Later on this evening, they've got an online Bible seminar. What in the world is going on with their guest speakers, Reverend Dr. Vernon Arthur and Reverend Dr. B.M. Senath. Are we in the last days? What in the world is going on? And that's the topic. All right, so you can, the meeting code is 894-9066-6489, and the passcode is family. And this is all happening at the with the Scarborough New Testament Church, and it's happening from 6 p.m. later this evening.
All right, viewers, so coming on up next, we're going to be having GMT with Candice and Denicia, continuing to connect on Tobago matters. But just before we go there, we don't want our viewers to get too uneasy. Ria, where is this photo? Where is this photo, Ria?
But viewers, interesting enough, I had second guesses as to where this was, because some of you out there were saying, there was some location saying that it was at the Hammond School of SDA, which it's not. But I'm being told, I'm subject to correction.
Let's see the photo one more time. On screen. So we're looking forward to that photo coming up in the mix there, because I'm seeing like a wall.
Yeah, we're seeing a wall. There it is. And initially I thought maybe TN Tech, but then they said it's not.
I'm seeing those poles in the back.
Right.
Which is that a vessel that I'm seeing there in the corner?
That's what I'm thinking as well. And it is quite possible, but what I'm being told is that this is the this is the old Rex Cinema, and I'm subject to correction, but this is what I'm being told, that this is the Rex Cinema location, which is KFC's present location, opposite the port in Scarborough. So
Custom Street, I'm seeing
somebody says
here.
Custom Street, but I'm understanding here.
And I think I saw Leila Louis also indicating it's the old cinema where KFC is now
so
present.
Leila may have it right.
Kerry's Powder in terms of Piggott Street. I'm just giving an idea where it's located. So those who got the old cinema, it appears that you are accurate. You are quite accurate this morning in terms of where this location is. Really giving us an appreciation and a sense of you know, our very own Tobago space. And you see some of these spaces and you wonder, wow,
where is this?
I don't even know. I don't even know where it is. So that would have been the walkway that took you kind of along that part, and before you were heading in the direction of the port kind of thing, based on the angle that the photo would have been taken from. Wow. Very interesting, very interesting.
Yes. But Julian, before we go, we've got quick information here with regards to Tobago Drama Guild. So Blood Money continues on their production. Blood Money continues on today. They opened last night and they are on again tonight, and this is from 7 p.m. at the Guild House, 14 Ashella Drive, Lowlands, Tobago. Now, there's no show tomorrow, Friday, and the Saturday show is completely sold out. So if you miss tonight, your final night would be on Sunday night, but you don't want to miss it. Remember, it's all raising funds for the Guild to go on tour to Canada. So we encourage you to come on out and support them. They always deliver. Tabithi, Cheryl Uzuru, and the team, they always deliver really great production. That's the Tobago Drama Guild, Blood Money. So we'll see you on tonight. So it's over to...
All right, we're heading on over GMT with Candice and Denicia. Thank you so much again, and we look forward to connecting with you once again as we head on over, and then we'll see them again in the morning.
That's right.
In the morning.
Tomorrow
is going to be Friday. I seem so excited.
Yes. All right, so have a great day, viewers. Remember to stay safe, wear your mask, sanitize, and socially distance. We'll see you tomorrow.
Bye-bye.
Over to GMT.
Someone who's precious, you're never gonna get my love, accepting that you're real. Hey,
Tobago updates. Na 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 na. Good morning, Tobago. Na 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 na. Wake up with Candace and Denicia.
Let's go. It's a brand new morning. Rise up to a brand new dawning as the passion start to rise. The energy fill the skies. I say thanks for favor to wake up and hail my neighbor. 60,000 people strong, and the vibes is never wrong. We are beauty, we are power. We are people in the sun. We are beaches, we are rivers. We are melanated ones. We special and there is no denying. Tobago is number one. I am you and you are me. Together we stronger. Good morning, Tobago.
Welcome to Good Morning Tobago on Tobago Updates, your source for current affairs in Tobago, Trinidad, and the region, with the perfect conversations to complement your morning routine. I am Candice Jackson, and just before we get started, let's get into our news in 90 seconds. Approvals were granted for URP workers' salaries to increase. Assistant Secretary in the Division of Infrastructure, Quarries, and Urban Renewal, Joel Sampson, announced this at yesterday's post-executive media briefing. Effective July 14th, the increases range from 50 to 90% in all categories of workers. Changes were also made to the classifications of workers. Additionally, URP workers will now experience benefits such as 14 days of sick leave, 2 weeks of paid vacation, 3 days of bereavement leave for close relatives, and 4 days of paternity leave, along with 14 weeks for maternity leave. These changes were made to streamline operations and to improve morale in the workforce. Also receiving salary increases from the THA are CPEP workers. The unemployment relief program is still undergoing restructuring, but one of the changes so far is a salary increase for workers. This increase will see the wage bill doubled, moving from $765,000 to $1.6 million. The wage increase will be effective on July 4th. A draft document is to be formulated by the program coordinator and her team to treat with benefits to the CPEP workers on the lower level of the organizational structure. Now on to some news from Trinidad. A female student was expelled from the Williamsville Secondary School for stabbing her 15-year-old schoolmate. The incident took place just outside the school compound on Monday. A video circulating on social media shows a female student getting beat up by other students, while one girl armed with a knife slashed the face and stabbed the victim in her chest. According to the Ministry of Education, the girl guilty of the knife attack was already receiving support from the Student Support Services Division at the school. The Ministry of Education has referred the family to the Ministry of Social Development and Family Services for intervention. And that was your news in 90 seconds. Now, of course, you have noticed by now that I am not in studio, and that is because I am down inside TADCO's head office in Shore Park, at the TicoSwap facility in Shore Park, where we are going to be speaking to a couple people on the consultations that took place last Tuesday. These consultations were with farmers and agro-processors about the way forward for the industry, and at those consultations, farmers and agro-processors were able to air their views, to hear a bit of the vision from the division as to where the direction for agriculture and food security is going on the island. Now, the first step, I am going to be speaking with Mr. Ricardo Alfred, and of course, he is in charge of TADCO, and TADCO is responsible for the recent amalgamation of the cassava company, the fish processing company, as well as TicoSwap, and the focus is on agro-processors. Now, good morning and welcome to you, Mr. Alfred.
Yes, so good morning and good morning, Tobago.
All right, so first of all, just tell me a little bit about, how you felt coming out of those consultations that took place on Tuesday, especially where the agro-processors are concerned.
Yes, I think there was a bit of confusion with the agro-processors. They believe that TADCO was competing with them, and so the record was set straight. We are here to assist them and to work with them. For the farmer side of it, I have already started receiving calls from various farmers who want to be interested in supplying us different commodities. After this morning, I spoke to a gentleman who wanted to supply us with chicken. So I told him I would call him back because we have to do some inspection of his farm and see if he's following good protocols here. So we're having some good feedback. I think the consultation was good, and there's going to be more of these types of consultation.
Okay, that's great to hear, because of course the conversation must continue if we had to have proper food security in Tobago. Now, I would just want to focus a bit on just the agro-processors, because of course, TADCO mainly does deal with the agro-processors, yes, part of it.
Yes.
Now, as you explained the vision to the agro-processors, do you think they were able to buy into the vision?
I would say yes. As I said, we are still receiving several calls from a few of them. What I would want to meet with them is just to iron out some, going forward we have to do things like contracts. These verbal arrangements, stuff cannot be happening anymore. The idea is to streamline the whole process in terms of goods and services, and I think it's going to be a good venture.
All right, and for the benefit of the viewers, could you tell me a little bit about the direction that TADCO is taking, especially where agro-processors are concerned?
Right, so in the name, Tobago Agribusiness Development Company, that says a lot, and at the end of the day, I want to be able to assist the farmers and the agro-processors in whatever venture they're doing. If you believe that you have a product that you believe is good for the market, come and have a conversation with us and let's help you make it better.
And tell me about the success you've already received with some products going out, because we saw that there were some products in Birmingham recently, and I think in a couple months we're going to be heading off to Grenada with some of our products. So I just wanted to enlighten us on what's been happening with those things are concerned.
Right, so we have a lot of interest from from outside and regionally in terms of our products. That be the dasheen and the waffle mix and all these different types of various types of things that you could do with the flour. We are actually going to be streamlining our factory to get it set up. We signed an MOU with a company called Novo Farms Limited, and they are going to be assisting in developing that structure in Tobago. I can assure the people at Tobago that we are going to be training Tobagonians in use in the factory in terms of from from collecting to processing. So it's going to be a very nice project in terms of we're going to have the input strictly local. So there's a lot of things coming out very soon.
And of course, TATCO is also there to help with the support in terms of packaging and marketing.
Yes.
So what's the immediate goal for the future?
The immediate goal is to get the factory up and running. We need to start producing the flour in terms of being a regional supplier of that type of alternative flour. So that's the goal right now, to get it up and running.
And how can people get involved? Like, I mean, for people who were not part of the consultations, how can they get involved? And then, you know, what should be their focus when coming into these conversations?
Right, so what should be the focus is that they have to be willing to expand their market and be willing to maintain a consistency as we're going forward in terms of your product. Because we are actually looking at the market in Trinidad and regionally in terms of being that supply. So whatever goods they have to keep in mind that they have to be consistent and they have to be willing to expand.
And then tell me a little bit about, you know, you being able to guide these people into the right direction and then lending that support.
Well, the first step is having the conversation, you know, in terms of where you're at. I would like to know exactly where you're at right now. What is your status? What's your capacity? And to see if you have room to expand. So that's where the first direction will go first. Where you at? What's your capacity?
And then coming out of the consultation, was there any contributions that resonated with you in terms of, you know, what other ideas or directions you should be taking?
Yes, a few people spoke about different packages and labeling and stuff like that, and it is something that we're actually looking into, actually in terms of see if some assistance could be provided there. However, when you're dealing with the international market, and even right here in Trinidad and Tobago, you have to deal with testing. So we are having some consultation with Kariri. We have an MOU with Kariri as well in terms of providing that support to the agro-processor in terms of testing.
Would we be able to see testing being done in Tobago? Because I know there was a complaint among some agro-processors that, you know, having to take the products down to Trinidad to get tested, I mean, and that journey alone can affect the quality of the products when it gets to the testing facility.
Right. So we have committed to Kariri in giving them a space where they could outfit it with the various labs and equipment and that type of thing. So there is going to be a more presence in Tobago from Kariri. A space was already allocated for them.
Okay, great.
Yes.
And how often are these consultations and conversations going to take place with persons in the agribusiness sector?
So, I mean, I strongly believe in transparency, and the information is not mine. It's for everyone to know. So if there's a new project or something coming up, we're definitely going to have the consultation with the public, you know. I think that is the direction at which we are going. When the Capital of Paradise came back out, we invited the public to see and experience what is happening there. So that is a mantra going forward, you know. It's going to be consultation. It's not my information, it's your information as well. So full transparency there.
All right, so I mean, we're just going to keep looking forward to what's been happening. And just quickly, if there are agro-processors that are out there listening, what do they need to do to get involved with TATCO and make those alignments?
Well, they could simply come down to the office, or they could contact me, or they could contact one of the members of staff, or they could call 639-4017.
All right, folks, so there you have it. Just a contact number there for you and ways for you to get connected as we are trying to improve our food security. Now, we're just going to go for a quick break, but we're not done with the conversations yet coming out of those consultations, because we are also going to be talking with Mr. Owen Dillon, who's going to be telling us a bit more about the farmer side of things and what they are saying in regards to what needs to happen for them to work together to making sure we have good food security in Tobago and to be able to export some of our produce. We'll be right back.
Happy Father's Day.
Looking for that gift Dad would really love? Well, this one's for you. Crossman's Corner is having a massive tool sale and expo. Friday 10th and Saturday 11th June. Discounts, giveaways, tool demos, and lots more.
Just build Crossman's Corner.
Happy Father's Day.
Upgrade Dad's tool shed with our wide selection of hand and power tools. Visit Craftsman's Corner, 24 Sincere Street, Canaan. Just build it.
Are you looking for that all-in-one shopping experience? Then look no more. Visit Lamb's Best Mart for your grocery items, fruits and vegetables, drinks, home items, stationery, gift items, hampers, shopping gift cards, toiletries, small hardware items, and much more. We provide order and pickup service, even delivery to your door. We are your friendly community supermarket. Check us out today at Lamb's Best Mart, located at 22 Daniel Trace, Canby, or visit us on social media at Lamb's Best Mart.
I'm Patricia Nicholson Richards.
Welcome to Tobago Update Sports. I'm your boy Marcus Daniel. Thank you.
Trinidad and looms as remains. When the public is nobody lives here.
Oil and gas exploration continues to affect the livelihood.
Speyside Marine
In Tobago
fishermen,
When will the
Sion Francis
hospital be fully functional?
Of the 5 a.m. to 12 p.m. window at the Irantos, like the golden
Continue to
waterfall.
rise
in Tobago.
Yeah. Hey.
Tobago updates. Na 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 na. Good morning, Tobago. Na 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 na. Wake up with Candace and Denasia.
Let's go, go. It's a brand new morning.
Hi, and welcome back to Good Morning Tobago. Of course, I am Candace Jackson, and I'm not in the studio, but I'm here at TADCO's head office, where we are continuing our discussion on food security coming out of consultations that took place on Tuesday with farmers and agro-processors. Now, previously, before the break, we were talking with Mr. Roberts about the agro-business side of things, but joining me now for our conversation is Mr. Owen Dillon, who is going to be focusing on the farmers aspect of things. So, good morning and welcome to you, Mr. Dillon.
Good morning and thanks for having me this morning.
All right, great. So now from the consultations on Tuesday, I was listening, I think one of the major conversation about, getting our farming industry up to a certain standard is land. I mean, we have, 1,200 persons that's on the waiting list for state lands in Tobago, but, there's a bit of a complication in, making sure that those persons that are interested on the list are able to get land. So I just want to first tell me a little bit about that situation.
Okay, we are aware of the fact, based on information, that the 1,200 applicants are waiting lands. What are they waiting for the lands for? Is it agriculture or housing? We need to determine that aspect. Some people ask for land, but they're not actually going into agriculture. It's available, it's from the state, and they go for it. We are interested in the farmers who are serious about agriculture and taking the sector forward. We're going to do a process. You must be interviewed. They'll be shortlisted, and then we can go forward in making the land available to the individual for that purpose.
So give me an idea how long it would take for you guys to go through the list and filter out those persons that are really interested in agriculture.
It's difficult for us to see from a TADCO perspective. There are entities within the THA. We have land management, who is responsible for state lands on the island. So there's a process you apply, and there's a channel you go through. The interview is being done, and then they will decide exactly if you are qualified, because you have to come up with a business plan to show exactly how you're going to run a business, agricultural business on this property. You are qualified, then the land become available. And then it will be the state responsibility to make the lands accessible to you, ready for farming.
All right, so let's talk about the next steps. So we have, let's say we have a group of a cohort of farmers that now have state lands. Now, what is the step, what is the focus in getting them to produce, whatever is a certain type of crop or a certain quantity to meet the goal of TADCO going forward?
Okay. The farmer must identify the product in which you want to get involved with, whether it's cassava, potato, dashing, whatever. You must decide exactly the crop you want to get involved in. That's your decision. Once you have the land, once the land is made available, we will give you, we will guide you, we will facilitate the process in assisting you, be it soil testing, planting material. We will guide you from a TADCO perspective. There's enough experience at the table to take you from that level to the next level. So once the land becomes available, we will go work with you from there. Soil testing, planting material, the actual management of the crop, we're going to walk along with you to bring it to market.
So is it that we're leaving it up to the farmer to choose their crops, or are we going to have any direction as to what kind of crops that we want to produce?
Okay, production is being led by market. There is a market for some commodities. The farmer must come up to say, the farmer must identify the product in which he's interested in. We cannot take up a farmer from the road and say, listen, we owe you plant cassava. You must identify cassava, the project that you would like to do, and then we work along with you.
Okay, and now let me talk about, some of the things that came out of the consultations. You know, what were the farmers' reactions to that conversation with you, and you're just hearing that vision of TADCO, especially where farming is concerned?
Okay, I think one of the greatest challenges coming out of the consultation where farmers are concerned after the land was land preparation. Some farmers already have access to land, but there's a challenge of land preparation. As you're aware, there are not much equipment available privately on the island for that purpose. So most people believe they must wait on tractor pull service, which is maintained by the THA. There is a serious challenge within the division, that aspect of the division. The farmers who were there would have been told that the 5 tractors owned by the THA is now down, out of operation at this point in time. That was a sad story for most of the farmers. There are farmers who already get part of the land prepared, and it cannot be completed because the equipment are not available. So that was a challenge. The secretary is aware of it, and they are planning to make an intervention to have that correct as soon as possible. Okay.
And any idea, any timelines?
No timelines. That will be in the hands of the technicians.
All right. And now, so moving, after food, soil preparation, what are the other focuses that you guys gathered from the consultation that, you need to prioritize?
Okay. Basically, is the management of that crop, because we are looking to maximize on the production. We have already engaged agronomists who are going to come along to train the farmers to take them from that step. Whereby some farmers are getting 15, 20 pounds, we are looking at getting a maximum of at least 40 pounds from a plant. It's possible once you use the correct technology, you have the correct training, and we already start making that information available. We already trained in excess of 100 farmers who were exposed to training a few months ago, and we intend to continue the training to take the farmers from one step to the next step so they can get maximum return on their investment.
Could you tell me if, your farmer did it into these things? Have that confidence in TADCO following these conversations?
Yes, they're then to know about falling. I'm trying to get people, even after the consultation, people are coming to you after the consultation to actually get more information. They're interested, they want to get aboard. They're seeing the opportunity.
And then what's in place to ensure that, this is not just something that piques at just the interest, but that conversation continues on, and that involvement and that dedication to, that collaboration continues throughout?
Okay. As a director, I believe lack of communication causes confrontation. So I think the best thing is to communicate continuously. That other party for no one, so we're going to inform. But then we all benefit across the board.
Okay, and I know one of the purposes of TADCO is to ensure that, produce and so on can go out into the market. So I just want you to explain a little bit about that main purpose of TADCO in helping farmers to just get their products outside instead of, having farmers to try to focus on producing their crops as well as market their own crops.
Okay, producing and marketing is two different entities. As I mentioned before, the production will be market driven. We have already identified markets. So the challenge now is to make sure we produce. I think one of the best things out of this for the farmers is that there's a market that is already identified. So your production is market driven, exactly where it's going to. So you can spend more time on your farming, and we'll take the produce. As a matter of fact, we're going to arrange if you can do farm gate pickup. So we come to your farm and take the product from you so you have enough time to receive in a farm and produce more crops.
Right. And how do you think that, this is helping farmers, in keeping on with their drive to keep producing?
I think this is a win-win for everybody, especially the farmer. The reason why, as I said before, one of the biggest challenges for farmers in Tobago is the market. A farmer going to produce something and you're not sure exactly where you're going to get it sell. You go to the market, Scarborough market, and then I will take some until you come back next week for your money. When you come back next week, some of the products spoil. This is not what TATCO is about. We are entering into a contractual arrangement for you. You produce 1,000 pounds of a crop, we're going to take 1,000 pounds from you. You don't have to look for transportation and bring the Scarborough. We're going to come to your farm and collect it. You get your money in a couple of days' time. That's the process.
And then the money is sure.
The money is sure. And I think that is what actually sweetens the labor, the money. At the end of the day, we want all our farmers to make money from agriculture. The bottom line is dollars and cents. You're in it for that purpose. Must be happy going into it as a business. You have to treat them and treat them as a business. At the end of the day, they must be, as any other profession, you can build a house, buy the best car in the market, drive a Range Rover, whatever, as a farmer. That's our hope, that we build success out of agriculture to be over the farmers.
When do you estimate that us in Tobago will be able to see this increase of production from farmers?
I'd say by the end of the year.
By the end
of the year, we can see the table turning.
So we can hold you to that?
We can hold me to that. We can sign we can start on the dotted line.
All right, great. I want to thank you, Mr. Dillon, for speaking with us. And don't worry, us at Tobago Updates are going to continue holding you to those commitments.
You're welcome.
And I mean, viewers, we are going to be continue working along with TATCO as well to just bring you the updates and to tell you what's going on and so on. But we have come to the end of our show. I am delighted to be here with you every day, and thank you again for joining us. It's been a pleasure. And yeah, that's it from me. So have a wonderful and productive day, and see you again tomorrow. Bye for now.
Wake up with Candace and Denasia.
Let's go. It's a brand new morning. Rise up to a brand new dawning. As the passion start to rise, the energy fill the skies. I say thanks for favor to wake up and hear me neighbor. 60,000 people strong.